Welcome in. It is Big Ten Today. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Dave Remsen. We have some hockey awards to hand out. We're going to get to those momentarily. Then a little bit later in the show, Paul Caponigri will join me to shed some light on the selections as only he can. But with no further ado, let's get to it. Our award winners are our big story. And let's start with the first team, all Big Ten picks. Michigan is half of the first team, all from that great sophomore class. Gavin Brindley and Rucker McGroarty up front. Seamus Casey on defense. The other three selections split between three schools. The Gophers, Jimmy Snuggerud, Artem Levshunov, the outstanding freshman from MSU, and Wisconsin goalie Kyle McClellan. The second team dominated by the Gophers, Rhett Pitlick, Ryan Chesley, and the outstanding freshman defenseman Sam Rinsel. Rest of the team, Dylan Duke of Michigan, Notre Dame's Landon Slaggert, Scooter Brickey from Ohio State, and MSU's freshman netminder Trey Augustine. And then let's get into the individual awards. Adam Nightingale of Michigan State is your Coach of the Year, and with good reason. Nightingale led MSU to its first Big Ten regular season title. They'll be in the NCAA tourney for the first time in a dozen years. Won 16 Big Ten games, a half dozen more than last season. Levshunov taking a couple of awards, winning both Defensive Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year. He's the only player ever to pull off that particular double. The 18-year-old, who is widely considered to be a top 10 draft prospect, is the Spartans' first Freshman of the Year in the last 6 seasons. The aforementioned Kyle McClellan, the Big Ten Goalie of the Year. You probably know the story by now if you follow Big Ten hockey. He didn't play a ton for the Badgers last year after transferring from Mercyhurst, but has had a fantastic season. He tied for second in the nation in goals against average. He leads the country with 7 shutouts, tied for the National League in save percentage as well. And the Big Ten Player of the Year is Michigan's Gavin Brindley. Won the Big Ten scoring title with 51 points, including 24 goals, becoming the 5th Wolverine to top the conference in scoring. That is 2 more than any other school. Given all the success of Michigan hockey through the years, he is somewhat surprisingly just the 2nd Wolverine to win Player of the Year and the first in 8 years. And Gavin Brindley joins us now. He is our big interview. Gavin, congratulations on winning this award. Somewhat surprisingly, in my mind, you're the first Wolverine to win it in 8 years since Kyle Connor did so. What's your reaction to being honored in this way?
Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool achievement for sure. Definitely helps when you got a hell of a group of guys behind you and coaching staff that wants you to exceed on a day-to-day basis. So all the credit goes to them, and I'm just happy to be able to be a part of it with them.
You had a really nice year last year. You were an honorable mention all-conference pick as a freshman. To what do you attribute this jump, going from honorable mention all-conference to the Player of the Year?
Yeah, I just think you feel more comfortable. Coming to the University of Michigan, I was 17 years old. Don't really know what to expect, and all the credit goes to our seniors last year. Did an incredible job with the big freshman class that we had, and made us feel comfortable and made us feel like we were a big part of the team. And yeah, it's definitely just been a fitting year this year, and it's been a hell of a ride so far.
It has indeed, and obviously it continues this weekend with the Big Ten championship game. We'll get into that in a moment, but I'm really interested in your background. I mean, there aren't many great hockey careers that start in Florida. So for people who might not be familiar, give people a little insight into the background of your family.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida. My dad's from Thunder Bay, Ontario, and mom's from Coshocton, Ohio. So dad always played hockey growing up, and was playing in the Myers in Florida in the ECHL for the Florida Everblades, and had me and raised a family there, and 3 younger siblings, and little brother plays hockey, girls are dancers, and I don't know, it's just always been hockey. Love to golf. We get back home for the summer, but yeah, it's pretty nice being able to walk outside of the rink and it to be 85 degrees and sunny. So you're in a good mood all the time, and it's a lot of fun growing up down there.
It is pretty amazing the Big Ten Player of the Year grew up in Florida. Again, as you said, you certainly have hockey connections. But what is really interesting to me, And what kind of blew me away is that Seamus Casey, your teammate, was your neighbor growing up. So we're talking about two first-team all-conference players who grew up really close to one another in Florida. Give people a little insight into that friendship and the history there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Grew up in the same community, really close to each other, and yeah, we just kind of started skating at the rink together. And next thing you know, he was turned into quite the hockey player and probably way more skilled than I was. And he ended up coming to Michigan. He was 12, 13 years old, 8th, 9th grade, and I waited a little bit longer. Ended up coming to Michigan as well, and now we lived together in dorms last year. Live together in a house now, and I can't get rid of the guy. So it's been crazy. I haven't known anyone for that long in my life. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's pretty cool to have your best friend go through it with you.
It's really amazing. How is the hockey competition in Florida?
It's good. It's getting a lot better. I think obviously a lot of people are moving down to Florida now since they're getting the secret with the warm weather, and the kids like growing up there. So the parents, I'm sure they love living there as well. And a lot of kids are moving down there, and a lot of guys that played professionally, they're retiring down there, and kids are starting their lives and their hockey careers down there. And it's been pretty cool to watch the game grow down there. Me and Seamus, we want to do everything we can to get back down there and help give back and do what we can to help these kids have someone to look up to. And it's been really cool to see it grow.
You mentioned that Seamus committed really young to Michigan, and then you eventually followed him. Take us through that road, because I know obviously it wasn't all in Florida. You went, you played juniors. So take people through kind of a path of someone who is as good as you were from an early age and how you ended up at Michigan.
Yeah, so how it works, you pretty much just play locally until you get good enough to play AAA hockey, which is the best tier of hockey that you could play until you go and play junior hockey. So you play AAA hockey till you're 15, 16 years old, and then there's a bunch of junior hockey leagues you can play in. I went to the United States Hockey League, which that's the best junior league for the States, and played there for 2 years, and then eventually just came to Michigan last year. So stayed in Florida as long as I can, and then went out to Tri-City in Nebraska, and then now I found myself in Michigan.
Let's talk a little bit about this team. You guys, I mean, there was some doubt, I'd say, as recently as about 4 or 5 weeks ago as to whether this team would even make the NCAA tournament. You are now clearly going to be in. How do you feel like this group turned things around from where you were, say, at the beginning of the calendar year?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's all confidence. We've been playing playoff hockey since pretty much January. As soon as we get back from the break, we realized that we got to stack some wins here and sweep some weekends, and if we want to be in it. So we had some big sweeps the past couple weeks, and it was a big game against Minnesota last weekend, which was a lot of fun. And I just think our confidence is at an all-time high right now, and everyone's playing their best hockey. So it's definitely fun to be out there right now with these guys, and the sky's the limit for us right now.
I mentioned the champ game coming up against Michigan State on Saturday. Give people who might not be all that familiar with it a sense of the hockey rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, probably the biggest rivalry in college hockey. A lot of history goes back to it, and this is the first, I think, Big Ten championship game that there's ever been. So it'll be, I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotion, and it'll be a hell of a game, that's for sure. They're a heck of a hockey team, and we definitely got something to prove. So we owe those guys a little bit, and it'll be a lot of fun on Saturday.
Well, they did take 3 of 4 from you this year, but your win was at Munn, where the game is going to be played on Saturday night, and you blew them away. I mean, it was a 7-1 victory. So how much does knowing that you've won on their home ice give you confidence going into the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps a little bit. Obviously, like you said, they've beaten us 3 out of 4 times, and that's not something that we want to hang our heads about. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's in the past now, and it's a championship game. Saturday night, 1 game, 60 minutes, and do you kind of win that game. But yeah, it definitely helps when you know that you've beaten them in their home rink, and we could definitely go in there with a little bit more swagger and a little bit more confidence to get the job done.
All right, I'll leave you with this. Biggest thing you guys need to do to win that game? Like, what's kind of the top of the scouting report against Michigan State?
Yeah, I mean, I just think physicality is the biggest thing. I think when you're physical, your intensity is off the charts, and your focus. Those are the three biggest things for us. And we got some really good hockey players on our side. So the plays will come, and the plays will be made. But we just need to focus on three things, and those are the three things.
Big Ten Player of the Year, Gavin Brindley. Congratulations, Gavin, on winning this award. Really looking forward to watching this game Saturday night. And, of course, best of luck in the NCAA tournament as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.